Wunderbar, wunderbar. Hallo und willkommen bei euch, mein Freund.
Nein.
Do you know what you just said no to?
Nope.
Okay. I just said hello and welcome to everybody, all of you, my friends, mein Freund. I don't know German, but I know Google Translate, and I think I got it pretty close.
You're all right. That sounded
right.
good to me.
Why am I talking in German?
I don't know. Maybe because something German that we will be talking about.
That is correct. We're talking about Netflix's Dark, which just finished up its third and final season, which is very exciting for all of us. It did. And we'll be talking about that later on in the show. Not quite yet. We'll be talking about it 33
Almost.
years from now.
In 33 years, we'll talk about it.
33 years, and we did talk about 33 years ago. Anyway, let's move on. I think we should just move on to my week. I had a nice week. Honestly, I did a lot of video games. I played a lot of video games. Like just kind of kick back, relax, you know. Will Smith song, you know, Fresh Prince, everything.
Yeah.
And I did finish Battlestar Galactica, which I started several like episode 2 or something. I started it because it was when Sci-Fi was like, hey, you guys can watch it for free. I think you can only watch it for free until the end of this month. So I really got in there and I did it. And you know, everybody says it's like an awesome show. And I agree. I have to agree. I can't help but agree. Here's the thing. And people always say this, you know, people always say it is a great intro to sci-fi for a lot of people, you know? And I do feel like I agree with that, but for a weird reason, because the show isn't really that sci-fi, I'll be honest. It's not totally sci-fi. It's a sci-fi setting. They're in space. There's giant robots that they're fighting, you know, very advanced technology. Well, not giant, but they're, you know, 8 feet tall or whatever.
Large.
And wide, like the meme.
Yeah.
But it's not very sci-fi. It's way more just drama that happens to take place on a spaceship. You know, a lot of the concepts that I feel like you like are a little bit absent, you know. You kind of get the one, which is the Cylons, you know, their whole deal.
Yeah.
As far as like, there's some like, you know, Lightspeed, FTL kind of stuff that they barely go into. You know, it's more of a device than as like a concept. So I feel like maybe for fans of sci-fi who are super in there, it might actually be a little bit disappointing, the sci-fi element. But the drama is so well done. And the main thing about this show, which, as you know, it's a big thing for me, is that a lot of the TV I watch, I find it hard to connect to a lot of the characters, you know?
Yep.
I did not have that problem with this show.
Good.
I loved every single character. I thought they were all very interesting. They're all flawed in their own ways. You love to hate all of them, and you hate to love most of them. And Gaius is great. He started as my favorite, and he ended as my favorite.
Good.
Which is always good. I do think that... Oh, here's something interesting that only you will get.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil the ending of the show. But this show ends the same way I told you I thought it would be hilarious if The Rise of Skywalker ended. Do you remember how I said it'd be hilarious if The Rise of Skywalker ended this way?
Oh, jeez, that was a long time ago.
Oh, you don't remember? Remember, because it would just be Rey and Adam Driver, Kylo, at the end.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, you don't remember. I can't believe. Remember, because it'd be the thing, and then they'd zoom out, you know?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I
now
know
you're
talking about.
That's how Battlestar Galactica ends. Like, actually. And I was like, yo.
Wow.
I can't believe they stole my idea I came up with for Star Wars. Yeah, I was happy with that ending. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, they came to 2020 to take that idea from you, and they took it.
You're right.
They took it
when
back.
they made
Time
Battlestar. Travel. Cylons never well, they kind of time traveled. Not really. But they time traveled like, I don't know. They didn't time travel, but
okay.
It was good. It was really good. Starbuck. The thing with the ending is there are a lot of, not loose ends, but a lot of stuff that they keep really open that they never quite answer. You don't get as concrete answers as you might have hoped for, you know? It stays a little bit more vague usually. But you know, that's okay. I don't need everything to be totally close-knit. I think that I don't know if the thing is the show is really different from the original. Apparently the original was not very good, I guess.
I have no idea.
Or at least it was like campier. It was just kind of weird, you know. There were like robot dogs or something I read people talking about. But I guess if you like the original, this one might be disappointing to you because it is so different. apparently people were really mad that they turned Starbuck into a girl. People are really upset about that Starbuck was now a girl and Boomer was now a girl.
Interesting.
We need to keep our Boomer boys.
Yeah.
But if you are someone who's not into sci-fi, like me, I wasn't too much into it, I would still have to recommend it because the sci-fi, again, it's like 10% and 90% is that interpersonal relationships. But it kind of has me just like kind of itching for like, okay, but what if they did explore, a little bit more of these sci-fi things? Like it kind of does, especially when we're talking about Dark, which is probably like, I don't know, how much sci-fi do you think it is? Like,
it's got to be like half, maybe almost half.
I was thinking like 45,
Yeah.
45%. It's not quite half, but it's still really up
It's
there.
very present.
It is very present. But another thing I watched, which kind of had more just fantasy than sci-fi elements, was The Old Guard, which just came out on the 10th, which was
yesterday,
right? Yeah. And it's Charlize Theron.
Your favorite.
You already know that I was in there day one. And it was pretty good. The action was very cool. Choreography was going on there. Charlize Theron, she has gone on about saying that she loves taking films that are like a challenge for her, like physically, and she looks great. She looks really believable to me. There's a lot of... So the whole thing about this movie, I don't know if you know anything about it.
Nope.
The Old Guard, I think, was a comic book.
Oh.
And it's about these tribe of like 4 people who are immortal. They can't die, so they can get shot up, and they'll get shot up, and then their wounds will heal, and they'll come back to life and be like, okay, and Charlize Theron is like the oldest one of them all, and the plot is they pick up a new one is born, and they're like, oh, a new one has been born in like 200 years, and by born I mean it's like kind of like puberty, like she's like in her 20s and it happens to her, and she's like, oh, I can't die now, cool. So they go get her, and then they're getting hunted by these scientists who want to figure out the secrets to immortality. So it's them kind of on the run and hunting them down and everything. And it is good action-wise. There's a lot of... so when you have those people that can get shot and everything, there's cool stuff that you don't see as much often of people literally flinging themselves in front of like people who can die if they get shot,
Yeah.
Like using their body to like literally absorb bullets and be like, So there's cool stuff like that. A lot of gun combat, like... using guns as like clubs and everything.
Oh.
I always thought that was interesting. And the main thing that I think is a worry with this, that is a flaw of this movie, is that a lot of the dramatic and emotional beats don't really land. I don't think it's acting. I think it's the writing. Charlize Theron's great as always. But they have all these concepts that they work with where you have these immortal people, right? And one of the big things is like, oh, we're immortal, but we can still feel pain. So if they capture us and they do experiments on us, we'll be alive and feel the pain that they're inflicting upon us forever. Like,
Right, that's not good.
It's like one of them gets put into an iron casket and thrown into the sea where they're trapped, and they just drown over and over and over for hundreds of years. And
good.
But they can die eventually. They don't know why, and they never explain it. But they can't. At some point, you just die. You just stop healing.
Oh,
It's never explained. There's a sequel hook at the end, so I don't know if that would go into it at the end if they made a second one. But I'd say it's a slightly above average film just for even the choreography alone.
Nice.
So strong recommend.
And
that's actually, other than Dark, all I did was those 2 things.
Well, almost all.
What do you mean?
Because Hamilton came out.
Oh, Hamilton, of course. Yeah, okay. I wasn't thinking about Hamilton because Hamilton was already... But yes, Hamilton. Okay, do you want to... Hamilton's your week.
Yeah, obviously, I saw it too. I figured I'd start off so we just talk about it together.
Okay.
Hamilton came out on Disney Plus.
It did.
The PG-13 version.
The PG-13 version of Hamilton.
Which, I mean, that's not a big deal. But
it's not really in the end.
They could fit one of... There's like 3 in the whole show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They could have put one of them in. They took all of them out.
Yeah, it's like you need one.
I think they could have put one of them in, but I get it. It's Disney.
It's Disney. It fits their brand or whatever. No big deal.
Yeah, and I've been a fan of Hamilton for a while.
Been a fan of it since it came out.
Yeah, I've never seen it performed, so this was my first time seeing it.
Yeah, we can't be so lucky.
And I don't want to say it was like underwhelming.
I know what you mean.
But it wasn't quite as like grand as I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, when you have it over the years, literally years of listening to the soundtrack and imagining in your head,
yeah,
you can come up with a few explosive ideas going on. But it was kind of a, I don't know if understated the right word, but it was, or simple production. But it's a very restrained production. It wasn't too showy ever. It wasn't blah blah blah. And not necessarily to its detriment. No, I don't think, because I do think with the style of music that they're going for, it makes sense. It's it's not like they're doing, line things with the girls' frilly things, like doing cartwheels and explosives and everything. Like, it's not. Can't think of a comparable show to compare it to. It's not Cats.
Yeah, it's not Cats. They got the spinny thing too. Isn't that like a rarity?
What?
The spinny stage.
Les Mis.
I know. Les Mis. That's
yeah,
two.
I guess. I don't know. I just think it's not a thing a lot of people use. I don't know.
I always thought the spinny stage was like a rarity in plays and musicals. I'm not really well versed on that stuff, but I just always thought. So people are like, wow, they're walking.
Right.
But they're not going anywhere.
What's happening? But yeah, no, it was nice just listening to, it's nice seeing everybody's faces.
Yeah, some of the close-ups that highlighted like certain performances. I mean, that you definitely wouldn't get if you were there seeing it.
Right, exactly. Cool. It's something that is when you film plays and musicals, it's something that you don't get as an audience member. Because I mean, at least for me, I'm never sitting in the front row. I can't afford that. It's already like $100.
Can't even afford the back row.
Right, it's already like $100 minimum to go to like a local one. So actually being up close with the actors and seeing their facial expressions, see them really do it. It's a very fun dynamic that these film productions bring, and I enjoy it a lot. I do.
Yeah.
Daveed
Diggs, my man.
But super recommend if you don't know anything about it. I mean, it's a little revisionist. I'll be honest. That's kind of my main problem. Like, black. Okay.
Yo, chill out.
No, but I've seriously seen people say that about him. I just don't get it. Anyway.
Moving on. Speaking of Daveed Diggs. He's in Hamilton.
He's a cool rapper.
He's Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson. He's also a rapper. You should listen to him. Clipping. Pretty good. He's also the main character in Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
A show that is still happening.
And how is it?
The latest 2 episodes, I actually kind of liked them.
Really?
I mean, they're not like anything too crazy, but they're pretty good. These 2 episodes are like the beginning of like the revolution on the train.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of action, battle scenes and stuff. There's a very shocking moment in episode 7 where one of the main characters dies. Was totally not expecting it. But there's a cool part where one of the characters is getting tortured, and they're torturing her they have like a hose hooked up to the outside of the train, and it just like brings the cold air in, and they can like spray the cold air and like freeze your limbs or like whatever they want. So they freeze one of her fingers and like cut them off. But then eventually she gets her whole hand frozen, and she uses it because she's like chained up like this.
Yeah.
And she got the chain over here, but her whole hand is frozen. So when the opportunity arises, she just yanks and shatters her whole hand and just rips her arm away from her hand, and then just starts fighting. But she doesn't win.
Oh, that's sad.
But I thought that was a cool little
That is pretty
thing.
cool. That is pretty cool. Idea.
And then the battle scenes were pretty cool. I don't think anything can really match the one scene in the movie. The one battle scene in the movie.
You mean like the first with the Revolution one?
Yeah. The first one, that's pretty awesome.
It is.
But it was still pretty good. Really bloody for TV? I think it's on TNT.
TNT, yeah. Do they still have the like the bug cubes? The bug jello cubes?
Kind of. They have like nasty food in the tail that they eat, but they're never like it's bugs. It hasn't been like it. They have like really nasty.
Well, it was bugs though, right?
In the movie, yeah. But this is like not related to. It's just like the same idea, but completely different.
Because it was like a novel or whatever, or a short story or something.
But yeah, there's one thing. I don't know how they did it, but they built like this huge like ballista thing, and they just like shoot it down the hallway of the train, and just like rips like multiple people.
That seems really dangerous.
It was crazy.
That seems.
So that was pretty cool. There's 1 episode left, so we'll see how it wraps up. And there's to be honest, I have no idea how there's gonna be season 2 unless
it
it's
was
like
renewed. Yeah,
unless it's gonna be like they complete the revolution, and then the season 2 is like a political thriller,
right?
Like I don't know what they're gonna do
to the new government.
But yeah, other than that, the last 2 episodes are pretty good. Overall, the show's, I mean, it's okay. It's like slightly above average cable television. It's entertaining on a Sunday night.
I feel that. Yeah.
But yeah, one kind of, not like a big problem, but kind of a smaller problem. It doesn't really feel, not all the time, but sometimes it doesn't feel like you're on a train. Or like the way people like get from, like, they stay at one time the train is like 10 miles long.
Oh, wow.
So to get from like the front in the engine all the way to the tail would take forever.
I've never seen the show, but I imagine at all times every character is just kind of slowly bobbing up and down like they're on a train.
That doesn't happen.
They're like, hey, we need to find out who did this murder, okay?
Yeah, but just some of the sets, I don't know, it just makes it feel like you're not like in a confined space of a train. But other times it does feel like, literally, if I want to go from this place to this place, I have to go through all these other places.
How often do you see outside the train?
I mean, they'll cut to like the outside every now and then, and there's windows sometimes, but not very often.
Okay.
But it's pretty good.
Well, maybe it'll do a 1080 and it'll become like really good, and maybe
Who
the finale
knows?
will blow your socks off.
I don't know. But another show that I do very much like is The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom,
which is also on Netflix.
And it got season 5.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Very nice. I just finished season 2. I really liked it.
That's good.
The show moves like really quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
But it doesn't feel like
rushed.
We're missing anything. Yeah. It just feels like we're getting everything that we need all the time. And it has those certain characters that you get really attached to. For me, it's Hild and Ethelwald. I feel like that might be controversial because I feel like a lot of people probably don't like Ethelwald.
Oh, wow.
He's kind of a not a good person.
Well, that's how Gaius. Okay, spoilers for the first episode. Gaius literally is responsible for the death of 95% of the human population. So, a lot of people don't like Gaius.
He's
my favorite character.
Ethelwald is like this young teenager. He's probably, well, I guess like an older teenager. Okay. But he's a young person. And he was the true heir to the throne. His father died, but his father didn't want him to be king because he's kind of a wacko.
Gotcha.
So they made Alfred king, and
Ramsay.
He's really mad. Yeah. And he's really mad about it. And he's always just like, I'm the rightful king. So the whole time, everyone's just like shitting on him the whole show. So he's just kind of like the punching bag of the show.
Yeah.
But like slowly behind the scenes, he's like trying to make moves as best as he can. And I don't know. I like his presence. He just kind of laughs and like at every scene. Like if something's happened, he's just like sitting there and someone's like, this happened. He's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Or he's like, yeah, I just like him.
Oh, hi, Gendry.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite.
Very cool.
But yeah, there's some really cool battle scenes.
I don't know why, but you talking about this show is just getting me really excited to talk about Dark. I don't know why.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's just because you said Hilda, and it makes me think of Helga.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Doppler. Yeah, there's like a big time skip in the middle of the season, which was very surprising. It seemed like the conflict that's presented at the beginning of the show gets resolved, like the main conflict gets resolved in like the middle of the season. And then there's the time skip, and then the rest of the season happens, which is like the beginning of a new story.
Gotcha.
So it almost seems as if they wanted to make the first season like 12 episodes, but Netflix was like, no, or something like that.
Well, they love their 8
or
whatever.
So that was just, it wasn't weird. Like it ended up fine, but it just seems like maybe that's probably what happened, unless that was their idea. They're like, you know what? Middle of the season, let's do it. I said, okay. But yeah, and of course, just like in the first season, my favorite character died. Not my favorite character. Ethelwald didn't die. But some other extremely likable people bit the dust.
Dang it.
And I was really upset. None of like the bad people die in this show.
Yeah. That was the thing kind of with Battlestar Galactica. It felt like an old TV, I don't want to say problem, but just an old TV norm where it's like, oh, your main characters don't really die. It's like, if you're lucky, it's like one every other season.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how old TV just kind of worked. You never really got to see the consequences that harsh, because I think there's like 2 fake out deaths in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, nice. I don't think we've had any of those in Last Kingdom.
No. There is one that's very shocking that in, actually I can just say it because nobody would ever guess. A character commits suicide in Battlestar Galactica, and it's completely out of nowhere.
Oh, really? Like out of nowhere?
It makes sense, but it's still out of nowhere. It's just like they just pull out a gun. You're like, oh, okay, we're doing this today.
Dang, that's crazy. Someone commits suicide in season 2 of The Last Kingdom, but it's not shocking.
Oh, okay.
It's like there is no way out of this situation.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna go this way, so I'm gonna go this way.
Gotcha.
The Last Kingdom, it's pretty good. I'm really excited actually to watch the next 2 seasons, which have 10 episodes instead of 8.
Ooh, how about some anime?
We got anime coming up. Black Lagoon, you ever heard of it?
I have. That's the one where that's the hentai, right?
No, it's not hentai. What
is that Black Butler?
I don't know.
Or is it Black something else? It's Black something, but it's not that. Gotcha.
No, Black Lagoon is about. It's kind of like Cowboy Bebop, actually.
Really?
So Cowboy Bebop's like just a group of people.
So you're saying it's better than Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Okay.
It's not better than Cowboy Bebop, but it's kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's just like a group of mercenaries.
Sexy mercenaries.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like there's, I'm blanking on her name in Faye. Faye in Cowboy Bebop. There's a character just like that in Black Lagoon. Her name is Revy. Yeah. But she's like a super badass, like dual-wield gun wielding.
Oh, cool.
And she kills everybody. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of really cool gun battles and stuff with the animation. It's really bloody. And there's just, this show has probably some of like the most badass women I've ever seen.
Oh, sweet.
And probably like any show, not just
anime, just any.
But I mean, these chicks are going nuts.
Well, have you seen Asuna from Sword Art Online?
No.
Because I love in season 2 when all the things that happen to her happen. Anyway, continue with your thing.
Revy would probably kill her in 2 minutes.
No, that's a joke because Asuna's like really cool in the first season, and in the second season she
is not cool.
She gets captured and she gets damseled and she gets tentacled and all that stuff.
Oh,
literally. I watched the first season of that show. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your thing with Sword Art Online. Go for it, yeah. But I don't watch a lot of anime, so I feel like I should bring it up whenever I have something comparable to talk about.
Sure.
But her character just got done dirty. Season 1 was like fine, and then it turned bad by the end. Then season 2 started, and it was just awful what they did to her. Because she's in a coma in real life, but in the game world, she's a prisoner who just cries, and it's like, oh, please don't touch me there. And then she gets touched there.
Nice.
And that's her whole character now.
There's one thing, I don't know if maybe I just didn't catch it, but there's a point where in this show where they're like going into a submarine to recover this art, because that's what they do. They like move things, so they're getting the art so they can deliver it to somebody else. And these Nazis are like, that's a Nazi submarine. We will not let you take this. And I don't know. It seemed like they knew that it was like a Nazi submarine, but one of the main characters, Rock, they were like taking all the stuff from the submarine that sunk at the bottom of the ocean, and he's like, wait, maybe we shouldn't take all their stuff. These are for people too. And I was like, these people are Nazis, right?
Rock.
And that kind of was strange. But then like 5 minutes later, they brutally murder all of them. Gotcha. They just run through like their main ship and just start killing everybody.
Sweet.
So I was like, okay, this is fine.
That makes up for it.
Yeah, but even with all the awesome gunfights and stuff, the best part of the show is like right in the middle, there's just like an argument between Revy and Rock. And I don't know, but I was like glued to the screen.
Really?
There's just like...
Was an argument that had like... It was just like a friend argument or like a gun to your head argument?
Both. She pulls a gun on him because she's going to kill him because he's kind of like, Revy, you're being stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you need to stop being stupid. And she's like, shut up. Because she's a shoot first, ask questions later person.
Gotcha.
And then she's like literally about to shoot him, but he like grabs a gun, like puts it up, and then everyone runs away. And then they're just arguing back and forth. And like every like 2 minutes, one of them will just like pick up a table and like throw it.
Okay.
And then they just end up like trashing the whole place.
Like the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, Black Lagoon. There's a second season that I'm gonna watch.
Oh. Is it a long one? Is it or just
no?
2
It's
seasons?
It's 2 seasons. That's it. They're just 12 episodes a season. So I'm gonna watch that, and then
because we always talk about how, at least you're like anything that I have to catch up on more than like 100 episodes.
No, it's a no go.
No go.
Watched Naruto, and that was it.
So JoJo never happening.
No JoJo for me.
You could skip part 1 if I mean, that's not very long, but like you could if you wanted less.
Maybe JoJo, because I did watch Hunter x Hunter, which is like 170.
Right. Yeah, I think JoJo's at like 140 or something right now.
Dang, maybe someday.
Which is crazy because I have watched JoJo, and it's crazy because it really doesn't feel that long. I mean, it took a long time for the parts to come out, so maybe that's part of it.
Yeah,
but it really doesn't feel like it's that long of a show. It goes by real quick.
I don't know. But yeah, I'll watch that and I'll get, you'll hear my thoughts next time. Yeah. But I watched one more thing. One more movie called Come and See from, I think it's 1983. Mm-hmm. It's a Russian film about a young boy. I think he's like 13.
How do you say "come and see" in Russian?
Okay. I don't know. Well, it's funny you say that because the original idea that the director, I think his last name is like Klimov or something. Okay. I don't know exactly how to say it. He wanted to name the movie Kill Hitler.
Oh,
which is pretty funny.
That is a pretty funny name.
But they didn't do that in the end. It's about a 13-year-old boy who like digs up a gun because he wants to join the military. And he's all happy. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to join the military.
So like Jojo Rabbit, got it?
Kind of, except not funny. This is the most horrific movie I've
So it's like
ever
Jojo
seen
Rabbit. I'm kidding. Jojo Rabbit was pretty funny. I'm sorry, Taika. Your movies are good.
But then, yeah, you just see his experience of just the horrors of war. And at the beginning, like if I showed you like a screenshot of the kid at the beginning and a screenshot of the kid at the end, you would be like, that is a different human being.
Wow, yeah.
Because at the end, he is so messed up because, I mean, you just have to see it.
Atrocities.
It is.
Yeah. How long is it?
It's like not very long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, it feels like forever. Mm-hmm. There's, the last like 45 minutes is just like awful atrocities happening. And it's not even, there's no like big battle scenes or anything. It's all just like, I don't even like, there's no big battle scenes. It's just all like terrible things that these Nazis are doing. And there's a moment that I don't know how this worked, but there's a part where him and this girl are trying to go somewhere and they get into like this bog mud pit and they need to get through it to get to the other side. And the kid is like freaking out because basically his whole village has been like completely murdered. So, and he's like denying it. And he's like, no, they ran away and they got over here to this place. We need to go here.
What you're describing is dangerously close to the never-ending story.
They crawl through this mud and it's just this long, I mean, it's got to be 7-8 minutes of them literally just crawling through this mud. And I was like, it felt like I was choking when I was watching it. It was literally never ending. They just put him in. It's not even, it doesn't seem like it's like safe.
It's not even acting. It's just,
they were like,
actually be in the situation.
He was like, hey, jump into that mud pit of death and try to crawl to the other side.
Yeah.
And it was awful. This is an awful movie, but it was great.
Okay.
I mean, it's like a masterpiece, but like it's awful.
Yeah, I understand.
I do recommend it. It's horrible to watch, but it's definitely a story that needs to be told. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one.
Okay. Well, I would love to borrow it sometime.
Yeah, you can borrow it. I got it from Criterion.
Very cool.
And I won't be watching it again anytime soon. So yeah, you can have that anytime you want. But yeah, that's all I did this past week. Quite a bit, actually.
Well, sadly, it's not time for dark yet.
Nope, we've got one more part.
One more part that we gotta get through, and that's the news.
Let's get right into the news.
Let's get right into the news. The Channel 5 news, except the channel. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's get right into it. Sony Pictures Animation chief Christine Belson sees COVID-19 helping stimulate demand for R-rated and PG-13 titles. Now, this makes a lot of sense because obviously there's a lot of people who can't make physical productions anymore, So people want to keep creating, and they want to make stories of all kinds, right? They want to make R-rated movies,
right?
And animation, you don't need to have 1 million people in the same area, very close to each other acting. You know, you can have computers that are 6 feet away from each other, and that would work out. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, a lot of harder action adventure stuff that they're saying for like PG-13 and going into R even. Personally, for me, I still find an R-rated animated movie to be something that people could like really, really sell, because people, when they see animation, are automatically going to think kids.
Right.
And selling that as R seems like it'd be a little bit tougher to me than be doing PG-13, because a lot of people, you know, they don't care how young their kids are. They can go take them to PG-13 movies. You know, I know a lot of people who are like that. They were like, oh, ever since they were a baby, it's like, oh, you want to see PG-13 movie? No problem. A lot of people have no problem with that.
Right.
And honestly, most PG-13 movies, I would kind of agree with that.
Harry Potter's PG-13.
Right, yeah.
You know?
But that because of the, what is
Marvel
it?
movies
of fantasy
are PG-13.
violence?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the violence that brings them up there. Even if they could almost become, it's like teetering the line between PG and PG-13 at that point. Not like back in the day when it was like PG would be like gratuitous.
Jaws is PG, by the way.
Right. Like that is
Jaws.
That is an R-rated movie. But I really hope we could see a bit of a resurgence.
Sausage Party 2.
Sausage Party 2. And then maybe they could make a trilogy. They could do a spin-off with the bagel.
What would they call it? What would be like a funny name for the Sausage Party trilogy?
Taco Party.
I don't. Sausage Party's terrible. That movie should never have been made.
I never watched the whole thing, but I watched the ending, which I think is all I need.
That's all you need to know.
And I did not enjoy it. Let's move on.
Yeah, please.
The Batman. Who likes Batman? Raise your hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Batman.
It's okay.
But The Batman, which is the Robert Pattinson Batman film that's happening.
Yes.
Eventually. There's a TV spinoff from Matt Reeves and Terrence Winter set at HBO Max. It is an untitled, as of now, police drama that's going to be, you know, I imagine set in Gotham City.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we really don't know a ton about it other than it's happening. It's going to be connected to the universe. It's going to be the same universe as the movie, you know? So like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that.
Yeah.
I imagine it's going to be police. I don't know if Commissioner Gordon's going to be in it because he's going to be in the movie. Yeah. So I don't know how much he would be in this show, or if it'd be more like beat cops, you know, in the TV show. Again, it's a police drama. We don't really know too much yet.
Right, yeah.
But I think it'd be kind of cool if you had police going to scenes where, like, police get a call on their radio, they drive into a scene, they get there, there's like 18 guys just writhing around on the floor, and they're like, okay, what happened here? They're like, what did Batman do? You know? And they're like tracing that. And maybe even like going after Batman a little bit, you know, being like, if they do a more of a antagonistic relationship between the city and Batman, you know, we're like, we need to find out who he is and take him down. We hate Batman. He's stealing our jobs, stuff like that. Yeah. Vigilante justice isn't justice or whatever. There's a lot of interesting angles you could take it, you know. And it sounds pretty interesting.
Maybe I'll check it out.
I haven't when you think of it in your head, yeah, it could be good, but I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, we got to see the movie.
We have to see the movie's going to kind of be the deciding factor if this is going to turn out good or not.
Yeah.
You know?
But one thing, though, HBO Max, they're making some moves.
I feel like everybody's been making moves, you know? Like Hulu's really stepped up their game. HBO Max existed. Disney Plus started existing. Netflix, they got dark.
Netflix is Netflix, man.
They got dark.
They do have dark.
So, you know, it seems like everybody's kind of healthy, honestly.
Except for Apple TV.
Apple TV,
I'm going to go ahead and say that one's probably not very successful.
There's IMDb TV, which has free stuff that you watch.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know. But it seems like, as of right now, it seems like these like 4 main ones can kind of live together and sustain themselves. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Moving on. Have you ever played Fallout?
A bit. I've never actually played through a whole Fallout game.
Which one? 3?
You're asking a lot. Well, I think I might have played a little bit of the 4th one. I don't know for sure.
Well, what system was it on? That'll tell me.
Oh, geez. The newest, the 4.
Yeah, then that'd be Fallout 4, yeah.
I watched you play New Vegas one time, I remember.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you were like, this was a long time ago.
Oh, that's a really long time. It's a good game.
And you were like, this is my crib. and this is all my stuff. And I was
like,
okay.
Did I show you my bathtub full of gold bars?
Probably.
Yeah, I had a bathtub full of gold bars. Good games. It's a good series of games. I mean, the newest one was like, it's the multiplayer one. It's kind of
yeah,
it's very buggy.
Oh yeah, Fallout 76.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on with that.
Yikes.
I wish we could get into the drama of that, but we'd be here forever. We'd be here until nukes actually fell on us if we talked about that.
Good.
But why are we talking about Fallout? Because there was a Fallout TV series from the Westworld creators in the works at Amazon. So a joint effort between Amazon and Bethesda. You know, I think Todd Howard is executive producing the show along with some others. And I think it is very... I don't think it's going to be good. I'll just say that right now. I love Fallout. I love the universe. I was kind of upset about 76. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but there is a real, in Fallout, in the first, 4 games, a sense of the downfall of, the nuclear family, with that kind of idea, the kind of, 50s ideal kind of world, and, how... nukes and armies and stuff, it's kind of a condemnation of that kind of firepower and everything like that, just in use in the world, just morally, And then in Fallout 76, they're like, oh, nuke everybody for fun, haha, we fun nukes. When it's before, because in New Vegas, like you were just talking, there is a point in one of the DLCs, the final DLC, the final piece of content they made for that game, which wasn't Bethesda, it was Obsidian. The final piece of content they made was, oh, you found a nuke. What are you going to do with it? So it's like you can kill all the bad guys, you can kill all the good guys if you're playing a bad guy, or you can deactivate it, so you can make sure that nobody can set it off. And there's a lot of interesting stuff they do with that. And then you get to 76 and they're like, blow up your friends for fun. Yay, bombs. It's kind of completely missing the point of the series, I feel.
Yikes.
But the show, when you adapt an RPG, that is, you make your own character, It's like, what kind of story do you go for that's going to connect to everybody?
Yeah.
Because if you play every game as a lunatic who just kills everybody,
right?
And then you see a show where you're this upstanding, it's like, that's not my Fallout.
Yeah.
know? When you have The Witcher, it's like, oh, Geralt is a character. He exists. Fallout, there's not much to work with. But, it could be great. Westworld, I heard season 1 was awesome. I heard season 2 wasn't. Season 3 is going to have, oh my gosh.
Season 3 already happened.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
As Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. I was just thinking Jesse Pinkman in my head. Yeah. I was like, who?
Jesse Pinkman's in it.
Oh, he is. I'm going to watch it. I am, at least the first episode,
Yeah.
But I don't have high hopes. Keeping my expectations low. Lower
That's
than
good,
the Institute.
Because, has anyone hit on a video game adaptation yet?
You mean not
anything.
You mean fantastic, WoW? No. Nobody's done that yet.
Yeah.
People have done, pretty good. But WoW, not yet. But this could be it. I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not.
But speaking of things that are things related to other things, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Stanley Hudson from The Office, remember him? It's not hentai, it's art.
It's art.
Is trying to raise $300,000 to make a spin-off episode, this says. Is that true? It's an episode?
Spin-off episode.
This says episode from IndieWire. I'm not sure. But he is wants to make a spin-off titled Uncle Stan Coming Out of Retirement. And the synopsis for the project reads, after enjoying his retirement in Florida, carving wood, enjoying the white sand beaches, and dancing to old disco, Uncle Stan, Baker, gets a call from his nephew Lucky in Los Angeles asking for help with his 2 kids and running his motorcycle/flower shop. With his business failing, his kids growing up without enough attention, and on the brink of losing his patience with the cast of characters he has working in the shop, Lucky is going to need all the help he can get from no-nonsense Uncle Stan.
Sounds stupid.
It sounds really dumb. It doesn't...
That sounds really, really dumb.
It's not... it's a spin-off. I guess that's what a spin-off is. But it's it doesn't need to be Stanley Hudson. There's no reason why this is Stanley Hudson. It's not he's not he's going to get a call from Michael Scott being like, Stanley.
That's what she said.
Your daughter's hot or whatever.
That sounds dumb. I'm not watching that. I hope it doesn't even get made.
Well, I hope he gets to do what he wants to do, but I'm not going to watch it probably. It's not like I'm the biggest fan of The Office, but Even if it gets made, I don't think I'll even look at it.
I'll literally forget about it the second we move on to the next thing.
But what if, like, what would have to happen in this show for you to be like, I'm on board? What if he gets to his...
If it's revealed
No,
that...
listen. Let me say my thing first.
Okay.
What if he gets to, what was it, his nephew? He gets to his nephew, Lucky. He's got motorcycle flower shop. It says, on the brink of losing his patience with the cast of characters he has working in the shop. What if he gets to the shop that his nephew Lucky is running, and it's everybody who used to work in the office? Like Pam, Jim, Michael Scott, they're all there, and they're like, Stanley, this is so weird. Would that get you on board?
I mean, it'd be funny, but
that would get me on board.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
If Dwight just was there, that would be... Now that's an idea.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say a dumb joke. If it's revealed that he's the Scranton Strangler, maybe I'll be on board.
Well, if it like does a 180,
like it's happy, and then right at the end of the episode, he like viciously strangles somebody to death.
Exactly. That'd be pretty cool. And then Daveed Diggs could be like, we need to figure out who did this.
Yeah, we need
crumping. Elizabeth Banks, who is
I love her.
Yeah, she's a real sweet gal, to play Miss Frizzle in Magic School Bus live action movie. Now, this is a movie that...
Do original ideas exist anymore?
Well, we already discussed that, so I guess not, because that's the second time we're talking about that. So,
well, actually, we're going to talk about an original idea later, so I'm excited. Whatever. Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus.
Miss Frizzle.
Right, she's independent.
Yes. I'm pretty sure this live action movies we've known about since, like, I don't know, 2016.
I did not know this.
It's been in the works for a long time, I think. Because I know there was a new animated series that was made for Netflix, I think, called The Magic School Bus Rides Again, I think.
Oh.
Don't quote me. But it was Kate McKinnon was Miss Frizzle in that. It was animated, and Kate McKinnon was the voice. And I don't know if that was good or not. It's a kid's show. I have no reason to look at that. If I was going to watch it, I'd watch the original for the nostalgia, you know? I have no reason to see a reboot of a show that whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
But I think she'd make a good Miss Frizzle at the very least. She
looks like Miss Frizzle, kind of, if they did her hair up.
Right, exactly. Did it red and everything.
Sure.
But who's going to play, I don't remember its name, who's going to play the like, what is it, iguana?
Rango.
They could get, I think, Rami Malek would be a great choice to be like the voice, the little talking, you know?
Could be.
And he's got the eyes for it. Anyway. We talked about Hamilton. We got another bit of Hamilton news.
Hamilton.
Hamilton coming out. Drove up Disney Plus app downloads 74% over the weekend in the U.S.
That is quite a bit.
Which is weird because apparently this is only the mobile downloads. So this is 74% on mobile only. So who knows how much it was like for smart TVs and just like, do they have an app for a PC or something? They might. I don't know. But 74%. So it was downloaded 752,451 times globally, with basically 460,000 times in the U.S. From Friday through Sunday, Friday, July 3rd to Sunday. So Hamilton, good call putting that on your service.
Yeah, good for them.
I wonder how many people are gonna stick with it. You know, how many people are like, oh, I'm gonna check out Hamilton, then I'm out. You know, I got it, I'm gone. Or who's going to stick around for a little bit and blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, well, I don't know. Is it fair to say that people who would like Hamilton would probably like other Disney stuff? You know, I mean, it's a musical.
Yeah.
It's very different, but, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Hamilton reached a pretty wide audience, but I don't know. I would love to know eventually, if an article ever came out, how many people have kept with it. New subscribers have stayed with it.
Interesting.
Here's a little interesting story. Zendaya, John David Washington, and Euphoria creator Sam Levinson made a movie during the lockdown. They just did one. They had this kind of article is a little bit crazy. There's only one still from it. It's called Malcolm and Marie. It's in black and white, probably so they didn't have to worry about lighting as much. I mean, it's a smart move. That's what I would have done, right?
Yeah.
And it's it's really under wrap what the movie's about, but they're saying it's kind of have echoes of Marriage Story.
Yeah, it looks like a lovey movie.
Right, with they resonating a number of social themes that the world is experiencing right now. I'm reading right here. So I don't know if that's going to be like race related or just like global politics related. We don't really know. The details are under wraps, but Euphoria season 2 had to shut down from it. So they kind of all did it. I think Zendaya and John W. Washington, they kind of helped produce it, put money into the project, They all really wanted to get this done. And there's some guidelines they had. There's all these guidelines that they had for what they had to do. So no physical contact at any time. No more than one person in a room at any given time. They had a ton of different stuff. And I'm talking like there's like 50 or 100 like different rules that they all have for each department. All of their rules that they had, very strict stuff going on, but they did it. They apparently
good for them.
Got it done. We haven't seen it. We don't know if it's good.
Nope, we don't know.
But I'd be very interested to. I don't have.
I'll check that out.
I feel bad. I don't have what it was called right in front of me, but I know that Shudder. Familiar with Shudder?
I know what Shudder is. Yeah.
What is Shudder?
It's a streaming service.
For what?
Okay, maybe I don't know what Shudder is.
Shudder is a streaming service. Sorry, I just wanted you to talk because I'm trying to find the thing. It's a streaming service for horror movies only.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is a horror Shudder. Like you're scared. Like
I get it.
And they also had a movie that was made, but it was a lot less. I mean, I don't want to say professional, but like a crew actually got together in a single location and set up a set and everything, and they made a movie. But this movie called Host, made by Shudder, directed by Rob Savage, and then it got to Shudder, is looks like 5 actors who are having like a Zoom call, and that's the movie. So it's like what is it, like Unfriended and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It's like that, but this was done completely in quarantine. So all the actors, they lit their own things, they had their own cameras,
Cool.
They totally set up their own shots, and they all wrote the script, and not the actors, but they wrote the script and they shared it that way. So I thought that was a very interesting way. Like the director was literally just on the Zoom call, and whenever he would direct, he would just be like, "Hey guys, can you try it this way?"
That's cool. I like that.
So completely independently, one person to a room making a movie like that. I thought that was very interesting as well. I would love to see it, but I don't have a Shudder subscription yet. Once they make an app for my smart TV, I will. Got it. I do follow them. Craig Engler, who was like the creator of Z Nation, is created Shudder, or is like one of the big guys on Shudder. Z Nation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love Z Nation.
You're a big Z Nation person.
I am. I need some Z Nation merch. Nicolas Cage, you know who that is?
Never heard of him.
Well, he's in a thriller called Willy's Wonderland, and it what did it do? It sells to key international territory, so it got like international distribution basically.
Oh.
And so you don't know what Willy's Wonderland is?
Nope.
Do you know what Five Nights at Freddy's is?
Unfortunately.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's not the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's a separate project. See, Five Nights at Freddy, what's that about? Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't know what it's about. I just have seen pictures
it's about
that I don't like to look at.
With like Chica, and she's got like the robot duck. She's got like a bikini on, and she's like, oh. Have you seen those pictures? I have.
Okay.
It's about it. You play. I only know the first one. I don't know about any of the other ones. But you were like a dude who would watch a bunch of cameras of animatronics that would like try to come kill you. Like you worked at like Chuck E. Cheese, and the animatronics would try to like murder you.
Okay.
Now this movie is very different because this is about an out-of-towner forced to clean a family entertainment center, and then he must survive a hellish night trapped inside with animatronic characters that have turned evil. So it's very different. It's there's
Strange.
a lot of differences between the two ideas, but that's all. I just thought it was funny. That was literally Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, that.
But with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
It seems like it could definitely turn into like a cult. They even say in this article it could be like a cult classic. If it's gonna be wild, and with this kind of movie, I have no idea what the how it would look like, the animatronics, like if it's gonna be all CGI or if it's gonna be puppets. I love puppets. If they did puppets, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
They did like actual animatronic stuff or like people in animatronic suits, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be very, very cool. I would much prefer that to CG. Oh, CG would look so bad.
Yeah.
You might as well take like game footage and just be like, yeah, this is it.
Hey.
But I don't know. I probably check it out. It sounds interesting.
See it, sure.
Willy's Wonderland, not Freddy's. Willy's. Don't get it twisted. Now, our next story is about a man who likes to make out with his best friend in only video games.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Anthony Mackie says Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is a Disney Plus show about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is like a 6-hour Marvel movie.
That might be the dumbest thing that anyone has ever said.
Would you like to explain?
Of course it's like a 6-hour Marvel movie. It's a Marvel TV show. Of course it's like a 6-hour Marvel movie. Have you seen Iron Fist? Have you seen Luke Cage?
Well, probably not, honestly. He's probably very busy. I think the part is that he's working on is that it's TV, but nobody's does TV like Marvel does TV because nobody has the money to do TV like Marvel does TV. If you work on TV, what's your budget gonna be per episode? You know, right. For a normal TV show, one that's not Game of Thrones. You know,
I get it.
Like, I think that's the only thing he's getting at is that, like, if I had to sum it up, it's like, yes, they have a budget. That is this article. He was talking to Daveed Diggs about it. A lot of Daveed Diggs in this episode.
Daveed Diggs, that's the man.
He's great.
He's doing things.
I like his hair.
Yeah, he's cool.
Where are you at with this show?
Where
are you at with Marvel?
We kind of both, I don't want to say we made a vow, but we were like, after Endgame, we were kind of like done.
My vow is ended. My watch has ended is the whole thing. After Endgame, it's like, I don't feel obliged to see everything.
Yeah.
It's like Black Widow. No. I mean, Florence Pugh.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll see, I'm never going to watch a Marvel movie again. I'll see
the ones I want
to see.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going to go see Black Widow in the movie theater.
I'm definitely not going to see it in the movie theater.
I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie.
Me neither, but I saw the ending, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, like, I'll probably see, what is it, Eternals? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the one with all the people attached to it.
Yeah, that seemed interesting.
That has Mahershala Ali in it, right?
It's got Marshmallow. That's the man.
Right, so
I'll see that.
Luke Cage is totally dead. Like 100% non-existent.
What a failure.
Luke Cage wasn't bad. Iron Fist season 1 was bad.
I watched literally one episode of Iron Fist and I couldn't do it.
I watched it all. I watched every episode of every Netflix.
I'm proud of you. I couldn't even finish Jessica Jones. The second season, I couldn't do it.
Oh wait, was there a third season of Jessica Jones?
Yeah,
I didn't watch that.
Well,
Never mind.
The only one I watched was Daredevil, and that one stayed good all the way through. Thank the Lord.
Daredevil was probably the best.
Probably. It definitely is the best.
Oh, right. There was a Punisher season 2.
I didn't see that either.
Okay, I didn't finish that one.
Was it good?
No, because I didn't finish it. Of course it's not good. I was like, no, I don't like it. Well, I don't know. Marvel. It doesn't matter because they're not real anymore, so we don't need to think about it.
Yep.
But this one, Falcon, can't say he's my favorite Avenger. The Winter Soldier, can't say he's my favorite.
I like the Winter Soldier.
I don't know.
Well, is it Falcon and the Winter Soldier after... So Falcon's gonna be like the new Captain America, right?
I assume, yeah.
So that's what the show's gonna be about.
I can only assume
because he gives him the shield.
And they were shooting in Europe apparently.
Europe, whatever. I might watch it if people say it's really good. Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's how I work with most things.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all you have to say about Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
I think we said quite a bit. Actually,
I think we did. I think
more than I thought we were gonna say.
Yeah, I agree. Then you know what it's time for. Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Sic Mundus Creatus Est.
We are a perfect match.
Thus the world is created.
Don't believe anything else.
I always thought Jonas was a good name. Okay, when we talk about this... Okay, we're talking about Dark, by the way.
It's time for Dark.
I just want to get this out of the way. When we talk about characters... Are we going to say the main character Jonas or the main character Jonas?
It's Jonas.
It's Jonas.
No one says Jonas.
Well, some people do say Jonas.
Well, they're dumb.
Like the English dub of the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, guys. How much did you watch of the English dub?
Well, okay. When I first discovered Dark, like 2 years ago or whatever, I started watching. I was like, this looks like an interesting show. Maybe I'll watch it. I started watching it. It automatically puts in the English dub, which is a crime. At least when I watch it, automatically put the dub on. And I was watching, and there's like no dialogue for like the first 5 minutes of the show. It's just a dude hanging himself, and then people start talking.
Right.
And I was like,
yeah, guys, full spoilers, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be going in.
We're getting into it.
And I was like, this is really weird. Why aren't their voices lining up? Did someone really mess up?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, my goodness. This is dubbed. So, yeah, I went back and I changed it to German.
So
why did I get on this?
Because I was going to get into something. You didn't even get to like half an episode.
No, I literally watched
sentences.
I heard like 2 sentences, and I was like, I am not doing this.
I went back and I decided to scrub through, see a bunch of the major characters in the dub. I went to only in season 3. I looked through some of the season 3 episodes, and there's some interesting things. Again, only scrub through. I never watched a whole episode. I would literally just click through scenes and just listen until I couldn't stand it. Do you want to guess who the worst voice actor for the dub was?
Magnus.
No, it was the person who did Jonas.
No.
Was the worst. I could not stand the main character's English dub. I could not stand his acting. And I don't think it's just because I become really used to Jonas. I think it was just actually not that great. Marta was a little bit better, but still not great. Like, honestly, Jonas and Marta were like 2 of the worst.
Yikes.
Which are your 2 main characters.
Main characters.
But people who were good, Hannah was good.
Good for her.
Elizabeth, she had like 2 sentences, was fine when she could talk.
Yeah, when she talks, like for one time.
Helg was good. He was. Ulrich was fine.
What about Katarina?
Was another one that was just like okay. Waller was actually good, which was interesting.
Figured out what happened to his eye.
I know, he was about to tell us.
I know.
I'll have to wait for
Where's arm?
Yeah, right. But yeah, the English dub, the thing that was, I don't know if this was a good decision or a bad decision, but they did try to match it up with the lips. You know, they're speaking German, but they still did try. Like, the actors didn't just do their own inflections. They would do whatever inflection the German actor was doing.
Yeah.
So if a German actor went like, die, ich nacht fit, whatever, you know, I don't speak German.
Yeah.
The actor would be like, he wouldn't let me, you know, they would match it, and it really sounded stilted when they did it like that.
I mean, I get it. It's probably really hard.
It's probably like tremendously difficult. That's why you shouldn't bother.
I know. It's just like, so, like, why would we even do it? Just force them to read the subtitles.
Another weird thing, what was really weird about the English dub was they said Jonas. So not Jonas.
That's strange.
But then they said, I mean, obviously they say Bartosz. You know, you can't change that.
They didn't say Bartosz.
They didn't say Bartosz.
That's a shame.
But then they said Ava. They said Adam and Ava in the English dub.
That's stupid.
And I was like, it's obviously Adam and Eve. Why are you saying Adam and Ava?
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Bro.
Like, it was, I had to listen to it multiple times. I was like, did they really say Ava? Like,
whatever.
I just thought it was very bizarre that they would choose, because the subtitles say Eve, because it's Eve.
Duh.
I thought it was a funny choice. I thought it was very interesting.
That's stupid.
Choice from that. Also,
angry.
Bartosz's English voice was also very bad. But you know who? Actually, you know who else was good? They only had a sentence because they weren't in season 3. Really. No, Regina.
Noah. Oh,
Regina.
Yeah,
her English voice had a German accent.
Nice. What about Claudia?
Which one?
The old one.
Not great.
The middle-aged one.
Pretty good.
The young one. Is she in season 3? The young Claudia?
I don't think so.
I think that might be a season 2 thing.
Yeah, I don't think she appears. And then Regina's only in season 3 for one sentence. I mean, her Grave's in it a lot, but...
Regina.
Okay, so she dies. So now that we're done with the English dub and we never have to think about it ever again, what's up? Where do you want to start?
All right. This show is created by Baron Boodar and Janchi Fries?
Sure, yeah.
Don't know exactly how to say that. They wrote the whole show, all the episodes. They produced all the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And Baron directed all the episodes, which is good.
Yeah, it's not something that's always done.
It's good to have consistency.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think this show's great.
I think the show is also great.
So you see what happens when you have consistent creators on it the whole time, like Mr. Robot,
right?
For example.
The show. I don't know if you're getting into this, but the show when they started it, they didn't have high aspirations for it. They're like, we're gonna make a German show that German people will love.
Was it really not? They didn't know. They didn't have the whole story when they made it.
I don't know. That's not what I was talking. That's not what I was saying. I was saying this is a we'll get a nice little German audience. It'll be like probably moderately successful. And when it got very popular over in the U.S. and English speaking places, they were like floored. They were like, why is this super fun? Like they had no expectations for American audiences to be like into it or English speaking audiences. They only had it with German audiences in mind. So they were very impressed by
awesome.
That
makes me happy.
The way we received it.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'll try my best to give like a little summary, just like the broad scape of what the show's kind of about. It's gonna be hard.
Try your best.
It takes place in the town of Winden. Town where nothing ever happens in Winden, man. Nothing. And the mystery of a child's disappearance reveals the secrets and hidden connections between 4 different families, and they uncover a time travel conspiracy.
Yeah, the show's about time travel.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
It's about time travel for
dark
the most part.
refers to a lot of things, but mostly like dark matter, I guess.
Sure. I never really thought about why it's called dark.
Well, I think it's also because like tunnel's really dark.
It's very dark,
and like dark because like dark. It's like a lot of people have secrets, so it's like a lot of people are in the dark. They don't know what's going on. That's something interesting. If I can say this right off the bat about the show,
say it.
Is that in season 1? I don't remember exactly how it goes, but Jonas kind of gets thrown into the time travel stuff
early on. Yeah,
and when I was watching season 1, I was like, oh, Jonas is gonna be going through all the time travel stuff and kind of interfering with everything, and that's what I thought the show was, because that makes sense. I feel like I've kind of seen stuff like that before, but then by the end of the show, you're like, oh no, everybody knows about the time travel and everybody is doing it. It's not just Jonas. Every character is traveling through multiple timelines and everything. Nobody's in the dark by the end of it. Except for Waller. But he only has one eye / one arm, so take it easy.
All right, I'm sorry.
But everybody knows what's going on by the end, basically. And I was not expecting that from the beginning of the show. For everyone to be a player, I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, I always thought, even in like season 2 is when like everybody starts figuring it out.
Right.
And I was always like, well, they can't make everybody know about it.
I know.
And then they're like, hey, everybody knows about it. Okay, sure.
Waller is the only one, isn't he?
I can't really think of anybody else.
Boris? Alexander? Does he ever know?
I feel like he knows, but he never like does it.
Yeah.
He never like actively time travels, but I'd say
Tommy
probably knows. Yeah. I don't know.
That's probably about it, honestly.
There's not most.
And there's like 30 characters.
300.
Right, yeah.
30 characters times 3 different people for each of them.
Right.
And 6 people for like the main characters.
Right.
But I wanted to talk about kind of like different categories of the show to maybe make this flow better.
Sure, go for it.
Pretty confusing. I wanted to start off with the look of the show, so that would cinematography, production design,
it's
editing.
Pretty dark.
Hey, it's pretty dark
usually.
Also, the cinematographer and the production designer. The cinematographer's name is Nikolaus Summerer, and the production designer is Udo Kramer. They both did the whole show too.
Udo Kramer.
All 26 episodes.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. I didn't notice anything that they did that I was like, oh yeah, I know what this is.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very dark show. I really like the color palette of this show. I like the contrast, especially, I don't know, I was watching in the last season and I was like, I really like how this looks. Yeah. It was just like a normal, like basic close up. And I was like, I really enjoy this. But my favorite thing.
He production designed the voices. Udo Kramer.
What?
Ryan Reynolds, the voices.
I was like, the voice. What are you?
Oh
talking
yeah.
about?
He was the production designer for that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I knew him from something.
What was I saying? My favorite thing that this show does, and I hope you agree. Maybe you don't. When people are riding bikes, it is maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't agree, but
they do this. I don't know what it is. I don't know how they do it. It's literally just like a drone shot of somebody riding a bike.
Well, because it's just like kind of capturing the feel of riding a bike.
But I swear I could literally watch a 10-hour loop of all the shots of people riding bikes in the show. It's like, that's my favorite thing, which sounds stupid.
A little bit. My favorite thing, if you want to know mine, is the montages in every episode. I live for those.
Yes.
In every episode, at like the 90% mark, they play a song, a different song each time, and there's kind of montage. It's kind of a summary of what's happened in the episode. You know, it's kind of like, oh, this is the conclusion of each character's little arc in each episode, you know?
Yeah, they're really good.
Right, they're really good. They're all really well done. And the thing that they do in it that I really love, focusing on editing, is when they split the screen a lot. They'll show you two characters at the same time, you know? Sometimes it'll be the young version of the character and the old version of the character, you know, side by side, each doing their individual stuff, you know? Sometimes it's just characters who are related to each other in some way. But I love that technique that they use.
Yeah.
And it really helps when you think of the concept of multiple timelines, you know, happening at the same exact time.
Yeah.
You know, it helps you just visualize that.
Yeah, it really helps. And it's all just like pure visual storytelling. And like maybe you'll be confused like throughout part of the episode, but then once this montage hits, you're just like, oh.
Right.
It just like wraps up everything and shows, hey, this is exactly what's happening. And yeah, no other show does the split screen.
Oh yeah.
Like Dark.
The split screen in it is incredible. I love it.
Yeah. That stuff is good. It's good.
Right, because it's not just effective on a visual standpoint. It's effective on a storytelling standpoint. You know, they did a double whammy.
The double whams, though.
Exactly. Or triple whammy.
Yeah. My personal, I don't know if you have a favorite one of the montages.
I can't say I do.
But I do. The finale of season 2 has my favorite one, which is My Body's a Cage. That's the song that plays. And it's like right at the end of season 2, right when the apocalypse is about to happen.
Yeah.
And they're in the nuclear facility, and the portal opens up in the future and in the past.
They see each other.
And they see each other, and they're
I love that part.
They're both each other's moms and each other's daughters, and you're like, what is going on? That's my favorite of the montages. I mean, they're all good. Yeah,
but no, that is a particularly
That's my favorite one. Yeah,
because that one actually does work on 3 levels, doesn't it? Because it's a literal portal of, you know, so that one is very, very good.
It's nuts. And then well, I think the very, very last one is good. The It's a Wonderful World cover. When I first started hearing it, I was like, this is a strange choice. But as
I didn't like the cover.
Everything happened. You didn't like it?
I mean, the cover like itself, like not the choice of the song, but just like the actual rendition of that song. I was just like, oh, that's fine.
Well, it's by the same people that do the opening.
Oh yeah,
for the show.
Apparat.
Well, okay, it's Soap and Skin, but they are featured on the opening song. So the opening song is Apparat featuring Soap and Skin.
Gotcha.
The rendition of It's a Wonderful World is just Soap and Skin.
The Apparat song is called Goodbye, and you may know it from the Breaking Bad episode. Is it Face Off?
I can't remember, but
I think it's the Breaking Bad episode Face Off, where Giancarlo Esposito goes into the retirement home to go talk to Gustavo. And it plays when he's going in that. I found that when I was doing the rewatch.
That was crazy. I remember when you told me that, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the opening credit. You want to talk about the opening credits? I mean, they're pretty good.
Oh, the opening credits? Yeah, sure, yeah.
They're pretty good. It's just like a really simple, it's just like they just have footage, but they put it in a kaleidoscope effect, and it just looks cool.
It does look really cool. I still think the season 1 opening credits are my favorite.
I like the season 2 one.
Yeah.
I think so.
Sure. I can safely say that season 3 is not my favorite, just because it gets like too busy.
Yeah.
At a certain point, maybe that's the point. But I'm like, I want to know what I'm actually I want to be able to figure out what I'm actually looking at.
Yeah.
And some of them for the season 3, I'm like, okay, what is this? I don't even know. I can't even. This looks like beet juice and blueberries like stirred up in a bowl. Like,
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I don't really have anything about like the overall like way you see the show.
Oh, I have one more,
okay,
which is to season 3 only. There's something that I read about that I don't know if it's true, but they said that each time a clock ticks at the end of a scene, it means that it changed something in the timeline, which I don't know if that was true.
I thought that was just a signal for we're switching to a new time.
Well, no, maybe, possibly. But the thing that season 3 specifically is when they do the zoom transition.
Yeah,
which means
those were cool.
Yeah, because in seasons 1 and 2, you're just traveling through timelines. You can travel 33 years in the future or the past. So, and you can't travel to any time in between those, you know? But you can go from like 2019 to 2042.
It's 2052.
2052, right? You travel like that. And then in season 3, you find out that there's actually 2 universes that have this time travel capability. And they also start traveling between these 2 worlds, these 2 Welts, right? Right? That's the German?
I don't know.
So when the scene is transitioning from one universe to the other, they do a zoom transition that zooms in and stretches the image, and then pops in the new scene.
Yeah, it's pretty cool
to signify that you're in the other world, which is very helpful if you figure it out, which you should be able to.
It's
fairly obvious
unless you're dumb.
Unless you're on your phone.
Yeah, if you're ever on your phone when you're watching the show, you're
gonna have a bad time.
You don't do it.
But no, I think that they, it's a much smarter solution than just being like subtitles world 1, typewriter noise, or Jonas's world, Marta's world.
It's very show don't tell. The show in general is very show don't tell. But yeah, I saw a funny meme on the dark subreddit where someone paused it at the perfect frame during one of those transitions, and Jonas's face was like super stretched out. It looked like one of those like stupid Snapchat filters. I was like, this is so dumb.
That's pretty funny.
The another main thing I wanted to touch on, which is honestly, this show has like revolutionized my idea, like in the idea I had of what a casting director does.
Oh yeah. I never
really truly appreciated the job of a casting director until I watched this show.
And it is tough to say because we don't speak German.
Right, yeah.
But the performances for I don't know if I can point to anyone and be like, that was a bad performance, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are definitely a few people that I feel like I can point towards and be like, they did a good job, you know?
Yeah.
But as you were saying,
Simone Barr is the casting director.
Oh yeah.
Did all 26 episodes she did. She also worked on Inglourious Bastards and the Grand Budapest Hotel, which I didn't know. But I mean, you could say what?
I want to say it was old Claudia was in Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was I think the old lady that he would like flirt with.
Oh,
I think that was old Claudia.
I have to check that out.
I think I might be wrong.
But it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy to say that the casting like could be the best part of the show.
It is very good. And why?
Well, there you have you have the main version of the character that we meet in 2019. Mm-hmm. Then you'll have the same character in 2052 who's older. You have the same character in 1986, younger. Yeah. And then in some cases in the other world too, but that's just the same person, so it doesn't really matter. So there's like 3 different versions of the same person.
Usually it's like kid, adult, like old. Senior.
Yeah. And there you know instantly who it is.
It's amazing what they're able to
accomplish. They look
exact.
You could be like, yep, that person would grow up to look exactly like that.
Like who's the best? Like Jonas is really, really good.
I think by far the best. The one that actually I didn't even know. Older Ulrich looks when I was watching the first season, you meet older Ulrich.
Actually, well, I have to ask you, did you check to make sure?
Dude, I didn't. At first I was like, "Oh, that's just the same actor in makeup. That's cool. That's pretty good makeup." And then I looked and I was like, "That is an entirely different person."
Cuz I never checked, and I was like,
it's mind-blowing. They literally look exactly the same.
Well, I mean, he looks exactly what you would imagine him to look like 33 years older.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
It is crazy. And I mean, it's not to that extent to every character, but every character, I mean,
Magnus is really good.
Yeah, you'd be like, that person
Bartos
is good.
Yeah,
they're all good. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't think I can point to one and be like, oh, awful. Like, it's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Adam.
Well, that's a little different because some things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? If I had to say the worst one, it would probably be Hano or Noah.
You don't think middle-aged Noah and young Noah looked the same?
I'm saying, out of how good they all are, that one's probably the worst, even though it's still really good. What's worse than that one? Claudia, maybe?
I think Claudia's is good.
I think Claudia's good too. They're all good.
They're all good.
I'm saying what's possibly the worst, and I was thinking maybe Noah and Hano, because I just felt like younger Hano's face was a little bit more like vertical.
Maybe.
And older Noah's was a bit more square.
Could be.
But maybe he takes that from his father, Bartos. I don't know.
I don't know either. But it's also strange, I think, because if the casting wasn't super good,
yeah,
I don't think the show would be very good.
Yeah, probably not, because it wouldn't be believable. You'd be like, what? It'd be a lot harder to keep track of.
It'd be confusing. I mean, it's strange, but the casting like makes or breaks the show.
It does, kind of, yeah.
And it's honestly amazing. I have a whole new respect for casting directors now. I never had before. I was never like, oh, the casting director. What a great job.
Right, especially assuming that all the acting was good.
Right, yeah.
It was good to me. That's all that matters. You know, the funny thing about that was that I actually feel that this show was helped that it was in German for me. Because maybe this is stupid, but someone like holding someone by the shoulders and going, "Wann ist Mikkel?" Right?
Oh, yeah.
Is a lot more engaging to me than someone going,
"When is Michael?
When is Michael? When is he? When is Michael?" But "Wann ist Mikkel?"
Yeah, that's a lot more intense.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it doesn't sound as like corny when it's in German. You know, I think it does actually help it for like English speaking audiences. I don't know. Do you agree?
I actually, now you mention it, I never really thought about it, but yeah.
Even though I do think, even if it wasn't English, the "when is Mikkel," I think that line would have been saved when it changes from not where but when to not when but what world. I think that would have saved it, because I think that's a cool turn on it, because it's just a change of the dynamic. You know?
Interesting.
But as far as acting,
I was about to go into performances.
Your favorite performance? Can I just ask? Like,
I do have one.
Okay.
And I don't know what yours is, but mine is, I think, let me find her name. I have her name written down right here. Jordis Trebell, who plays Katarina Nielsen. The mom.
At mom age.
Yeah, the mom age one. I like her the best. I feel like, anytime, even if she's not talking, I could tell exactly how that character was feeling and what she was thinking in that moment. I think her facial expressions were the best out of the whole cast, in my opinion.
More than that, even, I feel like her and her younger actress were able to capture the same energy, where like she's not like, this might be weird to say, but like she's not like the nicest person on earth. She's kind of brash. Yeah. You know, she's kind of, wants things her own way, and they both were able to capture that. But then you also get the kind of, protective mother energy from it too.
Right.
So you combine this brash woman with protective.
She goes through a lot.
Right. Who goes through a lot, and who loves her husband and everything. And there's obviously stuff going on there. Yeah. There's stuff going on there. But, eventually, she comes back around. She is able to capture that very well. And with her younger actress also being able to do that. I don't know if the younger actress, how they did it, was like, hey, watch this person's performance and then try to make it like that. I don't know how they made that happen, or if they just gave them both the same direction. It just happened to work out.
I don't know, man.
But if I had to guess, I would guess they told the younger actress, hey, watch these scenes of the older woman and then be that but younger. That's how I would have told people to do it.
Yeah. Linking kind of Katarina to another performance that I don't know overall, but just a moment when she goes to the past in season 3 to meet with old Ulrich in the insane asylum, and she's like, I'm gonna break you out.
Yeah.
And then obviously she leaves to try to get the key from her mom, who is
the worst person,
who is a terrible person. and then ultimately is murdered by her own mother in the past.
And then after she's murdered by her own mother in the past, the mom goes home and beats her daughter, who is her, the woman she just killed.
But the moment of performance I'm talking about is when it cuts to older Ulrich sitting next to the door.
Yeah.
And he's waiting because she's like, "I'll come, just wait
like
by
11
the door."
p.m. She's like,
and he's just like waiting there. That was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like super heartbreaking because you're like, she's never gonna show up, and he's still gonna be stuck there forever.
Well, not forever, technically.
Well, yeah.
But no, yeah, I agree. She was very good. I had another one who I think was kind of cheating, honestly, with her performance. Okay. And that is Marta. That is Lisa Vicari, if that's how you say it. I really liked her performance for a very specific reason.
Okay.
Because I feel like even in season 3, in a weird way, she remains the character who like stays out of the loop the most. You know what I mean? She's like always like right outside. Bartos too, but he doesn't get.
He's very neglected.
He is neglected, but he doesn't get much of screen time.
Yeah.
But Marta, especially because she gets to do the world again, and then become the. So at the beginning, she doesn't know anything, right? And then by the end, she's obviously very. I mean,
she is the person.
But end of season 1, what is the end of season 1 for her? Where is she at?
No one knows about the time travel except for Jonas,
Ulrich, Charlotte at the end of season 1.
Maybe she has suspicions. I don't know if she actually goes anywhere. But it's only like a few characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Season 2 is when everyone figures.
End of season 2, she's dead. Right.
Yeah, she gets shot.
But my favorite part was the beginning of season 3 when she went back to not knowing anything at the beginning, because it was the new,
first episode,
the new Martha,
in the new world,
and her transformation of Jonas got a lot of time to come to terms with everything. It was kind of a slow drip for him. Marta got pulled into the shit in season 3 amazingly fast, and I really liked how she took a character who was, at times didn't believe it, at times was like panicking because she started believing it, like that, to being like, I have to take control and do something now. Like, it was a lot of quick emotions, and then being powerless, stuck in a cage, blah, 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 everything, it was a lot of emotion changing, in between episodes, not a lot of time to have these changing emotions, but I feel like she pulled off the range very well.
Yeah, because one second she's like, I love Jonas, I'm gonna bang him, and then literally like,
who are you?
And then she's like, you know what, I need to kill this person.
I need to murder you.
I need to kill him.
Exactly. I thought that she did really, because you honestly believe, you see the scene where Jonas gets shot from Jonas's perspective, then you see where he gets shot from Marta's perspective, and you like believe it. You're like, yeah, Marta, I guess so.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. So I thought that a lot of it did rely on her performance and the way she did Martha, because you have to like Marta,
right? She's one of the main characters.
If you didn't like her, and you have to like Jonas to an extent because they love each other. If you didn't like either one of them, the show would fall apart pretty quickly. You know?
I don't think I have any other performances.
I have one more
to highlight.
I have one more just because I like her a lot. I really liked Elizabeth Doppler, Carlotta von Falkenhayn, the deaf girl.
She's
in that. I like her character more than anything else.
Good.
But
she has a brutal scene in this season.
Yeah, she does. That scene honestly felt like it was from a different show.
I know, because the show's not very graphic at all.
Yeah.
But this season, that scene is extremely intense and graphic.
It reminded me of the Helga scene from back in season 1.
Yeah. Like a direct mirror image,
right,
basically.
Exactly, yeah. I thought it was everything, because she's deaf or just mute.
I think she's deaf.
Okay, yeah. But
because in the alt world, Franziska is mute.
Right.
She's not deaf, but she's mute. I think she's actually deaf.
But just communicating completely in sign language, and obviously all the characters when they're talking to her have to also. But it didn't affect my perception of the character that she couldn't speak. I still saw, if she could speak, I would still feel like it's the same character, it's that little girl who's a little bit wants to be more grown up, she's tired of being like a little girl a little bit, and it's the same character, but she's just deaf, and I think that's a really cool way to do it. You know?
And when she does talk for like 1 second, you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Exactly. It's her. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and when she's bashing that dude's head in with the fire hydrant.
Yeah, fire extinguisher.
Fire hydrant. She rips the fire hydrant out of the ground. And just beats the nuts out of the ground. No. You had nothing else? That was the last one for you?
I just wanted to point her out.
Yeah. I wanted to highlight the writing, the show, just the sheer complexity of everything that's going on. I don't think I cannot make myself believe that they did not have the ending to the show written beforehand.
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Robot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see how anyone could create season 1 and then they're like, hey, the show's popular, you can make more seasons. Right. And they're like, okay, let's make this up. Yeah, I don't see it. It wraps up so perfectly. Mm-hmm. It all ties together. I don't see it happening.
And it's like 3 seasons, 3 worlds.
Yeah,
like
it all is like exactly perfect. So
June 27th.
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't seen anything about if they had it all completely written before. But I imagine they must have. But they had to have. Yeah. There's no if Baron Bo-Odar said, yeah, we just made season 1, and then they were like, oh, you can do season 2, and we just had to make all of it up, I would be floored.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd have to be a madman to think of all that. It's so complex. Just like look up. If you've never seen Dark, just look up Dark Family Tree.
And don't look too hard.
And you'll just be like,
wow.
What?
Yeah.
You'll just be like, what?
If there was anything, well, where are you going next in your discussion?
It was just going to be general. Anything like.
Well, I was going to say about negatives, like criticisms you have. What comes to mind for you?
Not much, because this is one of my top 3 shows all time. But sometimes I think there's so many characters and so many different versions of people. I think sometimes people can get kind of lost.
Yeah, especially between seasons.
In season 3, Magnus and Franziska get kind of lost in it.
Yeah, they do.
But it's not anything terrible, and I feel like they really didn't have much to do anyway. They literally, Magnus and Franziska in season 3, all they do is fuck.
Well, they take they take Martha away too.
Right, yeah, the older versions.
Yes.
Yeah, they do that. But the younger versions in the other world, all they do is bang 24/7, and then they just die.
Get blown up, yeah. Not a bad life.
I'd say that's probably my only complaint I can think of, is just sometimes certain characters can get kind of lost because it's so complex.
I would agree. I would say the same thing about Bartosz, just in general.
Yeah.
Only because his character in season 1 is pretty important in season 1.
Yeah.
He's Martha's boyfriend. Right?
Yeah.
Claudia's his grandmother, and Claudia's one of the maybe second or third most important to the show is Claudia.
Yeah, I mean, she is really big in season 3.
Yeah. So it's it's his grandmother, and then by season 3, he doesn't get nothing, which is great. He's not totally forgotten, but it's when he was in such close proximity to Jonas and Marta from season 1, and then you
banished to 1887 or whatever.
Right, exactly. You'd think he'd have a bigger part to play because he was it was the 3 of them. That was the thing. And then he just kind of got friend zoned.
He does get friend zoned hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he got that huge reveal that he's Noah's dad.
Yeah, and he got Silja.
Yeah. And obviously Noah kills him in the beginning of season 2. So when you find out, you're like,
wow.
What?
I don't know. Bartosz.
It's nutty. And then I wanted to highlight episode 7 of the final season, because that is, I'm sure probably most people would say that's probably the best episode of the whole show.
Sure.
I would definitely say it's up there. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely the episode where every single scene is just some sort of incredible revelation.
Yes, reveal after reveal.
And then obviously the montage in that one is just when everything ties up. You see everything's from season 1 and season 2 that didn't make sense, and it just all starts wrapping up, and you're like, oh my goodness, I couldn't see the big picture, but now I do. And I really liked in that episode how it did the big the big numbers for the date, and it would like click up, and then click down. And
what was it called? What was the episode called? Was it Between Time or something like that?
I can get it right here really quickly.
But you think what?
I think it's the same font that they used in Captain America Civil War. Remember how we really liked the Captain America Civil War font? I think it's the same.
Really?
It looked like it to me.
Maybe.
It's called Between the Time, exactly what you said.
Cool.
Which I think is probably the best episode.
Because we never saw between the gaps of 33 years. That was the first time. It was the second to last episode.
Yep.
So it was that's why there were so many revelations, because it was untold stories, you know?
Yeah, and Adam killing his mom. Like, that was the worst scene.
That was pretty bad.
Her freaking child is there.
I know.
He's like, she's just sleeping.
Barto's wife is just sleeping there. And
he's just like, we just gotta go. And he looked nasty, by the way. And like not like the young Adam, but like
the wetter Adam. He looked wet. He looked wetter.
Yeah,
he looked like sweatier.
His face is nasty, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and everything just ties up in that episode. And then I really enjoyed the finale episode. What do you think of how the show ended?
What do you mean by that?
Well, like, what do you think of
the last scene or like the ending?
What do you think of like H.G. Tannhaus creating both of the worlds when he, his son and his wife and his grandchild all die in an accident. So he's like, I want to make a time machine so that I can make that not happen. But when he makes a time machine, he actually creates these two worlds with, Jonas and Marta, who actually don't really exist. They just exist in these worlds that were created, and they go back and they have to stop it. And then they all disappear.
That's like the real plot. War. That's like the actual plot of the show. Yeah. That you find out. That's the actual plot by the end. I think that so the whole point, well, this is actually kind of interesting. We talked about it a little bit before, where I think the show is like 40% sci-fi and 60% drama. Yeah. And all the H.G. Tannhaus stuff was where the sci-fi would really kick in, because he would talk about like Schrodinger's cat and everything, or box, and how he explained how that was how, it's dead and alive, or it's not dead or alive until it's observed, stuff like that. Explaining that to the audience in that way was because most people know that experiment and everything. Most people are familiar with it. Very popular. So it's a good way of portraying what they're trying to get across very simply, and then there's other stuff that, it's not real science. Obviously, it's science fiction. Right. But like all the stuff with the cesium replenishing itself because of how the time travel operated, how it would never deplete because of time travel, it was just a never ending cycle, going through the tunnel and everything. Yeah. I thought there were a lot of interesting ideas there. I honestly wish we got a little bit more, with Tannhaus specifically. Yeah. Like when it went to his lab, I thought there was going to be more scenes between his like son and like daughter-in-law or something about like his obsession or of his science before he actually completes, because they get in the argument where he's like, all about black holes and blah 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 and Einstein, but you know nothing about me. Right. Yeah. I thought there was going to be a little bit more about explaining exactly what he studied and stuff like that. Yeah. It's not too much of a criticism, I guess, but I was expecting a bit more, I guess. Okay.
Still good.
Yeah. Like,
I saw some people saying, I didn't personally think this when it was happening, but when Jonas and Marta are going back to stop them,
they were going to cause
crashing, they would actually be the cause of it. Did you think that?
I didn't think it until he got out of the car. For some reason, it was kind of like a thought that I had after. I was like, wait, what if they would have caused it? And it sent my brain off that direction, but then the show kept going, so I was like, okay.
See, I didn't think about that at all. I don't know why. I just didn't think about it, and I read it, and I was like, oh, I guess that definitely could have been a thing. Right, they get there, and they mostly
the reason I didn't think about that was because they weren't on a bridge, so I wasn't really thinking because I knew that they died on a bridge, and I was like, they aren't on a bridge, so they can't be that.
They stopped them at the
intersection. Swerves out of the way, and then drives another 2 miles
onto a bridge, and then he crashes. Right. And they drown in the river. But then they all disappear. They do it, and then They all disappear like Infinity War, but instead of it being sad, it's happy.
It's happy.
I actually cried. I'll be honest.
Wow.
I cried at the end when they're all disappearing and the cover is playing. Were you emotional at all?
No, because I knew that they like were real as well, except for Jonas and Martha.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, now they can just like be actual people now. Good. So it wasn't emotional where I was crying, but like it was emotional, sure, but it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me in a crying way.
I was very emotional.
Because it wasn't so happy that I cried, and it wasn't sad. So no.
You're just a dark person.
Dark.
Yo, connections. Yo. Everything is connected. What'd you think of the weird interstellar thing that happened?
Oh yeah, where they go to the place where Axel dies in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I have no idea what that means.
Well, they go into the long hallway where Axel died in Kingdom Hearts 2.
And then they see like each other's younger person be like, "Look in the closet. There's a person." I thought that was
weird. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like it, but like it did seem. I guess the point was just to show that they were connected, right? Like that's the point,
right?
But it's not like it was 33 years ago. Like that was probably like what, like 16 years ago, or
right?
Yeah. When they were kids, or like 14. I don't know. I liked the whole. I don't know. It just seemed weird that it was just them. I don't know how I felt about it. Not negative, not positive. I was just like, okay, I could have kept it or left it.
Right. Yeah. It was definitely, they were like, you know what? Let's just go all in.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was anything spectacular, but it just really reminded me of that scene from Interstellar.
Right. I know exactly. I was thinking that too.
It's like literally almost exactly the same. Yeah. The same idea. It doesn't look the same.
Right.
They have.
It looks exactly like the place in Kingdom Hearts 2 where Axel dies.
Yeah. Apparently.
So take that place and then combine it with the idea of Interstellar, and there you go.
Yeah.
Isn't it literally a closet?
In Interstellar?
Yeah.
No, it's the bookshelf.
Oh, bookshelf, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like all stretched and stuff in Interstellar, but in Dark it's just like a space.
It's just like a door frame, yeah. For a second I thought they were gonna run through it. I was like, what would that do? You know?
And then the dinner. At the very, very end.
I love the dinner.
Scene. There's like 6 people there.
Yeah, it's Peter, Katharina, Tommy,
Hannah,
Waller, and Regina. That's all of them.
The squad.
And she's back for one scene for season 3.
Yep.
And she doesn't have cancer and she's not dead. And I guess she won't get cancer. That was the part where both the English dub and the German original audio, I was very surprised by Hannah's little monologue, her little explaining her dream, you know? I was like, wow, this is actually, you know, I really feel for this character right now. That was actually probably the most emotional part for me.
Yeah. Was
her talking about like how I had this strange deja vu, because the whole time I was thinking about Jonas, obviously, and so was she, but she didn't know it.
Right.
So I was thinking about Jonas, and she was saying how it's like, oh, there was nothing, but it felt good for there to be nothing, you know? It reminded me of the end of BoJack Horseman. Has a similar thing going on. And I really liked it. And then of course the very last line, where they're like, oh, what have you thought of a name yet? She's like, I've always thought Jonas was a good name. Jonas was a good name. And I was like, oh. And she's looking at the yellow raincoat and everything.
Yep.
It's very touching.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, I loved the little dinner scene they had.
That's good. And then it's over.
Well, here's the thing.
Or is it? What?
How did you interpret her saying that?
Oh, like is
that actually going to be Jonas?
No.
I say yes.
You think the cycle will continue?
No, I don't think the cycle will continue. I think he'll just be born.
Oh, no, I don't think he exists.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay.
Why do you think what you think?
It's not the same people that made him. It's not Mikkel and Hannah. It's Waller and Hannah.
Yeah.
So this can't be the same person.
I think it's going to be the same person just because of the song they play, which is Ergenvi, Ergenvan, Ingenvo, Ergenvand, which is somehow, somewhere, sometime. And the whole thing about that movie is about 2 lovers coming together no matter what. Literally, the lyrics are like, we will travel through time, break the rules of space, and find our way to one another. And I'm like, they're playing that song. That's gotta mean something.
Okay.
They wouldn't play that song again because they usually do different music, you know?
Yeah.
So to play that exact song where the lyrics are exactly about breaking the rules of space and time to be together with the person you love, that made me think it's like,
oh, that's convincing.
It's going to be Jonas.
That's
even though it's not Mikkel and Hannah.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I'm still going to say no on that one. I think it's just
but
a person.
Here's what I say to that is how is oh wait, I guess she's not in it, is she? Wait, who are Hannah's parents?
You're asking me to really think hard.
Well, because now I'm thinking, are any of the people there, like, obviously everybody was like related to like a bunch of people, you know? Does anybody, because if anybody was the father of somebody who they're the son of, then they shouldn't exist either, right?
Right. Well, I think the thing is, all the people at the dinner table are the only people that actually exist. Everyone else only existed because of the time travel.
Right, exactly. Except, we don't know if Bartosz was there or not, but Regina was there, so he could be real.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Noah wouldn't be real. But Bartosz could be.
Could be.
But
it wouldn't be the same, obviously.
Right, exactly. I think just because of it's at very least, even if it's not physically the same Jonas and everything, it's like the reason they use that song is like because I don't think they're literally choosing a song about two like star-crossed lovers who do space and time. Are they really talking about Hannah and Voller? Like, is that who they're talking? Are they talking about Tommy and Peter in that scene? Like, it's such a deliberate choice to use that song that was very heavily in season 1, I think, or maybe season 2, when like because that's what like Helga was listening to when he was like driving the car and they got in the wreck and everything. You know, I think it was a very deliberate choice, which gives me a more hopeful outlook on the ending.
Yeah, that
in some form they come to being. You know,
interesting.
I think another thing that is a little bit of a criticism. Is I felt like I don't even know if they ever give him a name. Their kid.
That was literally the next thing I was gonna bring up.
Right. I felt like he was maybe. I liked his presence a lot.
He was terrifying.
But I felt he was maybe a little underutilized in the end.
I feel, yeah. He just kind of like shows up. Well, the three of them. Mm-hmm. They show up.
But Eve kind of replaces him. Yeah. In a way. You know, as the thing. He doesn't do much more than like a...
kill people.
Enforcer. Right?
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm going to whip out
like Willem Dafoe in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
You. Yeah. Yeah, their child frightening. I understand why Adam did not want that to happen.
I don't want it to happen either.
Very frightening child.
Yes.
I don't want to know what that upbringing was like.
Yeah.
In between. Let's think. One more, like a big idea from the show that I really enjoyed. Now seeing it all is, I think it's quite beautiful. The idea that H.G. Townhouse actually did create a time machine to save his son and his wife and his grandchild. Yeah. But he'll never know.
I would rather not know, and that's fine.
I know, but I just think, well, obviously they don't care because it never happened, but he's never going to, pursue time travel because he won't have to.
But don't you know, though? Don't you know it's like, I would invent time travel to save someone I love. I don't have to.
I know, but he doesn't know that he actually can do it.
Yeah.
He did literally invent time travel.
Okay, here's the thing. Did he do it?
Yeah. He makes the machine.
No, you're right. He did it. He did it. He did save their lives.
He makes the machine, and yeah, he makes two worlds on accident, and he causes a lot of pain and suffering for a lot of people that don't actually exist.
Right.
And then they kind of do the work for him.
Mm-hmm. So he's just a delegator.
But eventually, I mean, when it all comes down to it, he is the person. And
you know what's funny? The thing about two people, a man and a woman, not existing, and then he comes home and he's like, "Oh, your son thought he saw angels." Very similar thing happens in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my gosh.
Where there's two characters, a man and a woman, who are in love and destined to be together, who are angels.
Just saying.
The original Battlestar Galactica, 33 years ago. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'm ready to give like my final thoughts.
What are your final thoughts?
Well, if you haven't figured it out already, this is one of my favorite shows ever. It's in my top 3. That, Mr. Robot, Breaking Bad. It's just incredible from start to finish. Obviously, I'm a huge sci-fi person. I'm really glad that I have a sci-fi show that I can be like, hey guys, this is the sci-fi show that you should watch.
Right, yeah.
I love, obviously, everything we talked about. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I don't know. I'll have to... One more thing.
Okay.
This show, obviously, it like demands rewatch.
Yes. In 33 years, I will rewatch this show.
So I can't like place Breaking Bad, Mr. Robot, and Dark in a list in order, but I'm going to rewatch all of them, and then I think I can.
You haven't rewatched Breaking Bad yet?
I've rewatched like many parts of
yeah.
Breaking Bad, but I've never actually watched start to finish.
I gave it a full rewatch. Still good.
I was doing the rewatch with the commentary. And I'm like halfway through.
I rewatched right after El Camino.
You reminded me that El Camino existed.
Whoops.
Thanks. But obviously, like Mr. Robot, you need to rewatch it when it ends so you can see the whole new perspective. Same with Dark.
Yeah. Do you think that we are a world of two that was created from an origin world, and there's like separate versions of you and me? What do you think the separate versions of you and me would look like? I think I'd have long hair, and you'd have like a.
And
shape.
I'd be bald.
Yeah, you'd be bald. That'd be pretty. I want to see that.
That'd probably be it. Yeah, I mean,
probably be it. Like, what is going on? It's like we're exactly the same, but the hair. It's the only thing that's different. Actually, a lot of people got long hair in Dark Season 3. Like everybody was rocking the long hair. Bartos, Magnus always had the long hair.
Bartos, he looked good in the final season. I got to give it to him.
Yeah, sure.
I think it was his best look.
My best look was when he was still young Bartos actor, but he had more of the beard. I like that look.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, 10 out of 10. I give this show a 10 out of 10.
My final thoughts. I think that as far as... One thing I really enjoy about the show is that it doesn't bog itself down with time travel shenanigans. It doesn't have characters stopping every 2 seconds to be like, but wait, explain to me exactly how that works. Like, you know, at a certain point, people are like, oh, he's his son and also his dad. Got it. Okay, sure. The origin point is something else, and that allowed that loop to happen. Yeah. I get it, you know. A lot of things that get really bogged down in trying to explain specifically, this is exactly how, like, it's science fiction. There's a reason it's science fiction, because time travel isn't real.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. We never figured out how the time machine actually works.
Yeah, it's cesium has something to do with it. Yeah, you know?
Some element. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So I really like that it doesn't bog itself down there, but it gives you enough to, like, understand, like, again, the Schrodinger example right at the end that really clears everything up as far as the world goes, you know, and the creation of the loop, the knot, right?
The knot.
So that's what I really enjoy. As far as time travel goes, one of the best like portrayals of the idea of time, maybe of just time travel in general and interacting with each other through time and stuff and different timelines, converging everything. Very, very well done. I think that's. Yeah, I think the show in season 1 is just like, it's not, it's still recognizable, but by season 3 is like a very different beast.
Oh, yeah.
Which is awesome. Probably a great show if you haven't seen it to binge, because then you know all the characters, you can keep them straight in your mind.
That would be very taxing on the mind, though.
Not binge like literally a day, but binge like if you watch like an episode a night. And just watch, the whole series, like episode a night. Better. Like you get home from work, okay, let's go. Dark.
I would advise probably against binging like 8 episodes in a row, because you'd probably die.
Right. I guess that's what binging means, but I kind of meant more just like in succession, consistently watching the whole series. Because when you do binge, you do lose a little bit of something. You do lose a little bit of the wondering, waiting for days and being like, oh, what does this character mean? Like, and thinking of your own theories. When you just binge it, you lose that a little bit.
That's why these streaming services are going to releasing weekly.
Yeah. Probably a good call.
I'm down for
Overall thoughts, not 10 out of 10 for me.
That's a shame.
What is?
That's not a 10 out of 10 for you. That's a shame.
I would have to say it's a 9 out of 10. Oh, boo. Who?
Well, what is Breaking Bad at 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Wow, unreal.
What?
That's fine.
You think Dark is better than
I didn't. Whoa, did I say it was better?
Think it's as good as?
Yes.
Okay. No, I think it's a little bit worse just because of the stuff that we brought up.
Mr. Robot, Breaking Bad, and Dark are the 3 worlds.
Oh my god. Okay, so Breaking Bad and Mr. Explain that more. Which one's the origin world?
Probably Breaking Bad because it came out first.
I guess.
And then that created Mr. Robot and Dark.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
okay, sure.
There you go.
One's in German for some reason.
Whatever. You can watch it in English if you're an idiot.
You can watch Breaking Bad in German probably.
Yeah.
Turn on German dub. Walter White in German probably be scary.
He'd be like, I don't know how to say I'm the one who knocks in German.
But yeah, overall, 9 out of 10. Fantastic show. Likable characters. Charlotte, her one haircut makes her kind of look like a poodle, which is totally cool. We didn't really talk about Charlotte, but I like Charlotte a lot too.
She's great. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
I like her a lot, though. I just like her look as the actress, But, yeah. Let's hear it.
Ich bin der Kraft.
I think it's Eek. Isn't it Eek? Oh, yeah. Hey.
I don't know.
We're going to listen to our own show on the show. But that's all I got to say. 9 out of 10. Strong recommend from me. As a person who doesn't really like sci-fi as much, it's a strong recommend. So that should say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we just did it. We talked about Dark. Finally,
we did talk about Dark.
I'm so happy,
and it's over. And we'll never have to think about it ever again.
No, I'll think about it a lot.
Are you gonna rewatch it in 33 years?
I guess you kind of have to.
You gotta set your calendar.
I'm gonna have to set
this
a reminder
for whatever.
In 2053.
Oh.
I will rewatch Dark.
Unless the world had been apocalypsed by then.
Right.
Yeah.
I will, if they release Dark on DVD, which I really hope they do, I will buy it. And if there's an apocalypse...
That is a thing, because it's a Netflix show. The only thing I know they've done it for is Roma. I mean, I don't really pay attention that much. But Roma was Netflix original, technically. And that got a Blu-ray release and everything. Who knows if Dark will get a physical release? I would love to have it,
I know. I really want it. Because I had Breaking Bad and Mr. Robot.
Right, yeah.
Whatever, bro.
Whatever.
Well, that takes us into the reviews of the week.
The reviews of the week. Do you have yours?
I do. I kind of have a double whammy one, to be honest. Really? Kind of. Well, one of them is, when I was looking for one, I just saw one. And I was like, it's like 5 words. And I was like, is this person okay?
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll be honest, I don't remember what movie or show I found this on.
Okay.
But this is the whole review. Okay. Good to watch and bad to see.
Wait.
That's the whole review.
Good to watch and bad to see.
Maybe there's like something really deep in there.
Unless they're talking about Come and See, that is
No, I know it's not that one.
Because Come and See, that makes sense for that review. Good to watch, but bad to see. That makes sense. What's the other one?
I think it's Snowpiercer. I think that's what it was for.
Good to watch. To see. I have no idea.
Anyway.
Maybe they're saying it's ugly. Like it's an ugly show, but it's fun. Is it an ugly show?
No, it actually looks really nice.
Okay, then I have no idea.
All right, here's my actual one. 1 out of 10. Poorly idea. Steins Gate anime have better story and interesting plot about time. I guess in the next season 4, it must be story about 1, multi-parallel world, or 2, world has been reset, or 3, Adam and Eve suicide together, and main character should be changed. It's just endless story without get to the point effectively. And what I don't like about sound, in every 40 to 50 minutes, they put song. By the way, it's not a music video.
Okay.
Music itself is good, but I guess that's just the director's idea. I was working on several projects. Most of them, like this, think to prioritize marketing. Popular idea with a little change. I hope in future I can see new interesting things from this creator.
Wait, so did they like it?
1 out of 10.
That one really confuses me. It doesn't sound like they like it. They gave it a 1 out of 10, but then they really want to see new thing. I don't know. Maybe they misclicked.
I don't know. I just love when they're like, by the way, it's not a music video.
It's not a music video. And that's
funny.
like my favorite part, and they're hating on it.
Yeah, I know. That was by Dark, by the way.
Oh yeah,
obviously.
Right. Yeah. That kind of came across. No, well, I don't know what to tell that guy. How many people found it helpful? Like half?
9 out of 71.
Okay, some people weren't.
A few people were like, you know what? Yeah, that's
you
okay.
know what? These words together, they make a sentence.
These words make sense.
Yeah. Mine, I'll just tell you it's for the old guard because there's nothing to guess from it.
Okay.
But it's 1 out of 10 stars. Wow.
Surprising.
And so these are brand new. People just wrote these things. You know?
Yeah.
The movie just came
that's
out.
true. They are new.
So this one, the title is Garbage. Garbage, really garbage. Look like escaped patients of a mental hospital made a movie together. This takes woke culture to the next level. Felt like was watching a grade TV show. Insert vomit emoji. 84 out of 195 found this review helpful.
That is a lot.
That is a lot of people found this helpful.
I guess probably because it was funny. I might even give it a like.
Right, exactly. You like the funny ones. I think the movie The Old Guard right now is sitting at like a 6 point something user and like a 70 critic or something like that.
Oh, so the critics like it a little more.
That I might be highballing a little bit, but like 60, 70, somewhere in that range.
So
know?
it's good.
Yeah. No, again, it's fun. It's just like a fine little, yeah. You can put it on whenever the action scenes come on. Like pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Then otherwise, just maybe like do some chores and be like, oh yeah, this movie's okay.
That review was funny.
Yeah,
something about it.
And Charlize Theron, she's great.
She's Gouda.
We're gonna have her on the show soon.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's coming in
next episode.
Yeah, she's actually right.
Oh,
Charlize.
Hello.
We should just print out like a picture of actors' faces and just put it over Marilyn.
There we go.
And we can just be like, oh, Oscar Isaac is here today.
Hey.
What's up, Oscar Isaac? But that's going to do it for our show because we don't have any emails this week.
No emails.
But you can email us if you want to ask us a question. What is the email?
The StaglerPod@gmail.com.
Correct. And you can ask us questions about whatever you like, and we'll probably answer them unless it contains a lot of expletives or any slurs. Then we will not, because we got a lot of emails with slurs. That's why we don't have any, because most of them contain racial slurs. I don't know why, but we won't be reading those ones.
Nope.
Well, we do read them, but not on air.
Right.
So if you want to send us racial slurs, like we do look at them, but we won't read them on air.
Okay.
So that means all we have to do is talk about next week.
Next week, what we gonna talk about? No, well, not next week. Next
episode. My bad.
2
which
weeks.
is 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We're just gonna simply be talking about some of our favorite animated movies, and animated in general, 2D, 3D. Kids, more adult movies, just animated. As long as it's animated and a movie, no series,
no TV show, no Naruto,
no Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah, because that would definitely be on there.
No Love, Death, and Robots.
What an interesting show.
Yeah. We'll talk about it sometime.
Yeah, probably.
When we talk about animated series, probably.
Yeah, and sometime in the future, I'm sure we'll do
that.
But
animated movies, so, probably expect some Pixar in there somewhere.
Shrek.
Really? Top 5?
No, but we gotta meme it a little bit.
We'll meme it a little bit.
If we talk about animated movies and we don't talk Shrek at least one time,
we'll print out a picture of Shrek and slap it on Marilyn's face.
That would probably be the best thing we could do for the next episode.
That's what we're gonna do. I have a color printer. Or we don't even need color. We'll just do black and white Shrek.
Shrek. Yeah, expect Shrek next episode.
So yeah, we'll be talking about animated movies and hopefully reading an email if we get some sent in.
Send an email.
You can also leave comments and we'll see those, and if it's specifically a question for the show, we'll see that too.
Yeah,
and we can read that out
on
as
YouTube.
well. But emails, so they're all in one place, is the best for us.
Yeah, please
send us an email.
If we don't get an email, the game maker is coming.
Jeez, the game maker. But no, that's gonna do it for today's show, guys
and gals.
So what is it in German? Auf Wiedersehen?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen and goodbye. Yeah, well, whatever it is. We'll see you next time.